Thank you for the confirmation. Sorry for the delay. There are due to some technical error. I'm really apologize for the same. So I'll start with my presentation. I stand before you today to discuss over the next 45 minutes a topic that is oftenly underestimated but holds a paramount significance in the landscape of healthcare and scientific advancements and clinical research industry, that is importance of medical writing in a clinical research. Thank you CLRI for giving me this opportunity to present my views on a set topic.
Praveen, we are delighted that you have taken out the time to share your thoughts and enlighten our students, the future generation. So,
Yeah,
thank you so much, all yours.
yeah. Thank you. And this is a disclaimer. All views and points which I'm going to share with you all is all mine. There is a no connection and no intervene of clinical research solution LLP into. And this is our today's agenda. So I'll tell you about the what is the medical research, role of medical writing in the CR industry, types of medical writing, steps and the qualification required for the medical writing, and lastly question and answer session. So introduction to a medical writing. What exactly a medical writing it is? Medical writing is defined as a communicating clinical and scientific data for a various audience. This audience may include your physician, doctors, nurses, allied healthcare professionals, pharmaceutical companies, and scientists, and even regulatory authorities like the USFDA, your EMA, and your CDSCO, DCGI. All this comes under regulatory authorities and even the general public like us, non-medical background people. For all them, whatever literatures and publications may I request the other audience to be please be on mute. Thank you. Despite the variety of readers, medical writer is an activity which involves writing a significant information in a logical and a precise manner by which all type of audience and understand it in a better way. And as we know that science depends on a clear and accurate reporting with the authenticity. But if I'll tell like meticulous research can appear flawed if it is poorly presented in front of a regulatory. There are more. Just can you just explain? Can anyone tell me what this para is all about? I'll just give you a small example. Try to explain you what is the role of medical writer with this example. Can every all audience are able to understanding, or even a few, what exactly this para is about
Yes, sir.
completely? I think none of. So I'll just rephrase this same para in my next subsequent slide, which is a part of package insert of some of the product, which is like they act faster than a standard paracetamol tablet. You can swallow to fast effective pain relief of a headache and migraine, rheumatoid pain, and backache, muscle pain, toothache, etc. Is about the package insert. And again, I'll further more making it a more simpler way is like the drug acts faster than a standard paracetamol tablet and can be swallowed for a fast effective relief from headache, migraine, backache, rheumatic pain, muscle pain, neurologic, toothache, period pain, sore throat. So now it is quite digestible for you all to able to understand this. But all three are the same thing. So this is how medical writer works. So I hope I've given you some basic idea what exactly the medical writer do. They write, they modify, they reframe the sentences, they design the study, they design the document for their audience, considering the audience. So what is a medical writing? Which involves preparing medical education material like books, your journal, articles, publications, and specialized from a medical communication, right? Which is pertaining to your new research and medical background, medical things. And medical writers write concise, accurate pieces and understanding by the lay person and non-expert. Non-medical background person can also understand some of the basic about that particular product or a particular research. What does medical writer do? Medical writer, they present or communicate a clinical and a scientific data in front of a regulatory and target a range of audience using a wide variety of different formats. The this one example which I have showcased in front of you all about the same content but for the different audiences. First one is about the for the regulatory bodies and second one is for the medical person in terms of doctors and professors, and lastly for the customers like patients to understand about the benefit of the molecule. The combined knowledge of a science and a research skill is done by the medical writer and pitches is its right level for the intended audience. Yes, that is a very important by the for the medical writer to create or customize their article and use understanding of how to present information in front of regulatory body or a scientist. The- None all documents are not same. It depends on to whom it is going to be presented. If it is for a medical professional and a regulatory, it will be highly technical and which includes the scientific data, mode of action, and how it's going to be treated, and etc. etc. And the patient and for the general public, it will be a jargon free from a technical words, and it will be more simpler way. But yes, in terms of if the same document is going to be submitted to the regulatory regulatory body like your clinical study report or your IND investigation new drug application, for all these it required to be fulfill set rule processes. It need to be as per the guidelines which is given by the your USFDA, your ICH, your EMA. The applicable guideline need to be followed for the application below, either for your CSR submission, CSR drafting, and everything has to be comply with their regulatory body, their guidelines. Otherwise, it will get rejected. Role of medical writing in a clinical research. There were medical writing plays a crucial role in the clinical research industry by serving as a bridge between the scientific community, regulatory authorities, and a broader healthcare industry, mainly a clinical research. The importance of medical writing is in a clinical research can be highlighted in several key areas. So I'll focus on only four, which is a regulatory compliances, scientific communication and a manuscript development, ethics education and informed consent documents, development and educational initiatives, collaboration and future perspectives. So medical monitor need to have a clear understanding of a medical concept and ideas and to be able to present the data and its interpretation in such a way that a target audience will understand the message clearly. It should be interpreted clearly. The message whatever wanted medical writer want to convey, it has to be delivered properly in the same manner. Medical writers combine their knowledge of a science and their research understanding to present information at the right level for the target audience. Moreover, as as conveyed, a writing need to be meet the specific requirement for a different type of documents. Medical writing has become established as an important function in the clinical research industry because it requires specialized knowledge and skill to be able to write clinical study document like your protocol, your investigator brochure, and it also need to be in a structured and presented in a clear and lucid manner in front of regulatory for approval of a medical procedure. So I'll start with the medical compliances. So as whatever the guidelines and laws are in the industry or in the universe, which is given by the regulatory bodies like your USFDA and your EMA and IN CDSCO compliances, that all need to followed by the medical writer and to write his CSR or IND or NDA and need to be submitted into regulatory body for an approval. By the way, what is IND, NDR and CSR? These are the documents of clinical research. Your CSR is a clinical study report which stand a comprehensive document that summarize the design, methodology, result and conclusion of your clinical trial. Your IND investigational new drug application and your new drug application NDA to communicate a critical information about a new drug or devices to regulatory agencies. Clear and accurate writing is essential for gaining regulatory approval. I think someone has shared and comment that please change the slide, but we are on the same slide. I am just explaining the point number one, which is a regulatory compliances. So don't worry, I'm will be with you. I'll change it as per the need. Okay, thank you for the confirmation, Danya. Okay, the second one is about a scientific communication and a manuscript development. So well explore the art of a scientific science and a crafting manuscript for a publication in a scientific journal through a meticulous examination of a scientific writing processes, peer review, and the bridge to scientific communication. I personally appreciate the crucial role medical writers play in the advancing a scientific knowledge and fostering collaboration within the global scientific community. The, in that, there are multiple steps involved, like your scientific writing processes, peer review. Peer review, that means any document which is written or prepared by your junior medical writer and which need to be reviewed by the senior and applicable uh, head or the designated person. And after bridging the scientific community, yes, it will be like medical writers serve as a bridge between the researcher and the broader scientific community through effective scientific writing. They facilitate the knowledge exchange and enabling research to share their findings and contribution to the community body of scientific knowledge. And after that, the third point is about the ethics, education, and informed consent documents. Informed consent document is a patient-friendly informed consent document are critical to write, considering by keeping the ethics in mind, the applicable law and regulation has to be followed while writing the informed consent document. And medical writers strive to strike a balance between providing the comprehensive information about the study and ensuring that it is accessible to an individuals with all level of health literacy. Thus documents empower patients to make informed decisions about the participation in the clinical research, that particular study or not. If your informed consent is not properly designed, then either EC or a CDSE or applicable regulatory body may ask, may raise a query why you have not included that particular option, that particular thing or particular activity as per your protocol or law and regulation. So medical writer have to consider everything. And lastly, educational initiatives, collaboration, and a future perspective. So medical writer also play and extend their role in the educational initiatives aiming at various audience. They contribute to the creation of materials for healthcare professionals in terms of textbook and publication for patients and also for the general public. This material serves to improve on knowledge, enhance healthcare literacy, and foster a deep understanding of a complex medical concept to a general public. For the future perspectives, yeah, this includes the adapting to a technological advancement, addressing and emerging ethical considerations, and playing a proactive role in the shaping for a future of medical through effective communication and collaboration. So all these aspects are very important in of a medical writer or a medical writing in a clinical research. Types of a medical writing. Medical writing involves writing a different type of document for a different purposes and for a different audiences. Following are example of different kinds of medical writing. First one is about the medical journalism, which covers or which includes your newspaper, magazines, articles. These are comes under your medical journalism, and medical education like for physician textbook and CME programs, slide decks, and e-learning modules, and for patients like patient educational materials. And for the in medical marketing, your promotional literatures targeting to health care professionals and salesforce training materials. Here that vigilance and everything will comes under that. And for the publications, yes, journal article, manuscript, research articles, case reports, and review articles, abstracts, and poster and presentation for a scientific meeting and conferences. Those are comes under your publication. And in the clinical research documents, your trial protocol, investigator brochure, informed consent documents, your study reports, research proposals, all comes in your research documents. And for the regulatory documents, package insert and patient information leaflets, clinical study reports, a synopsis, subject narratives, and a regulatory submission documents. Your CTD, common technical documents, all are comes under your regulatory documents. So these are the spectrum of medical writing, regulatory writing, and a medico marketing. Medico marketing writings are usually considered as an informal writing, and your regulatory writing are considered as a formal writing. In that, usually have to follow the regulations. Each of the above type of medical writing is meant for a distinct set of audience, doctors or a patients, medical sales representative or a drug regulatory. Hence, the language used and the level of technical information has to be appropriate to the level of understanding of the respective audience. For example, I'll give you an example. While documents meant for a medical professional and regulators can be highly technical and can include a scientific data and its explanation. Thus, meant for a patient and a general public need to be simple and free of technical jargons. I hope you all understand about the medical writing.
Yes.
Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, moving forward, steps in writing clinical research study documents. So there are several points need to be understand why, like these are the process need to be followed if any document need to finalize in the clinical research study documents I'm talking about. So first of all, if a medical writer should know what is the purpose of that document, why, if suppose he is drafting or designing a protocol, he should understand the project brief, what is about that it's all about not just about the product but is also about the purpose, whether it is for the US submission or EMA submission or it's for a publication. So accordingly he need to design his protocol and then research our literature search, whether the past work, he should also always refer the past work of the others and select the targeted which is a feasible, which is applicable literatures, he should refer those and then start preparing the first draft and send it for review of information. He should also review all those information and then authorizing and compiling the document. Writing the first draft typically takes most of your time. Familiarizing yourself with the format, purpose, and a content of a document is essential to complete that draft. Just a moment. And after the first draft, the self review is always come first, and after that, peer review, and then later on, it will be go with your different departments like your quality control, quality assurance, and subject matter experts. Opinion is also very much needed for in that review process. And after that, your formatting and editing part. You need to check in the formatting and editing part. Mainly, you need to check the font size and line spacing, like document formatting, paragraph spacing, header and footer margins, page numbers, and in terms of editing, you need to familiar with your US or UK English. They use the appropriate spellings, punctuation, and proper use of tenses, reference styles, etc. You need to consider in your formatting and editing part. And after that, you need to get it approved, the document, whichever applicable regulatory body, and for a typical author or a particular person like designee. And after that, if the document need to be get electronic publishing, going for the electronic publish, then you need to consider that there this thing all the law which are applicable for the electronic publications. So that these are the steps involved in the clinical research study documentation. And yeah, what are the qualification and skill which are required for a medical writer in a clinical research industry? So, in terms of education, not always only medical qualifications candidates is needed. Even the like just a graduation degree in the life science background is also suffice, like your biology, biochemistry, physiology, or chemistry. That candidate also is fine. They can also make their career in this domain with the good knowledge of a basic human anatomy and physiology is a must. This is very important. And a learning knowledge of knowledge about the disease and all the therapeutic